Dave, and for the next half hour, I'll be reading from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Premium Yemeni Organic Isaba says yes to the hotel at the Lafayette. It didn't take long for the public espresso location at the hotel at the Lafayette to get snapped up, according to developer Rocco Termini. Termini has pinpointed a new coffeehouse experience to take over the space, which was recently and sadly vacated by the beloved coffee brand. But if there's anything that can help downtown get over a loss, it's a win. And this particular win goes by the name of Saba. Not only will Saba bring premium, organic, traditional Yemeni coffees to the heart of downtown, the franchise will also be slinging Yemeni red tea, Arabian coffee, pistachio lattes, and mango lassis. Customers can also look forward to a food menu that will feature such items as turkey pesto, chicken ciabatta, tuna salad, and a veggie stack. It sounds as if downtown office workers are going to find Saba, which is based in California, a welcome addition to their daily routines. Not only does Saba have many caffeinated offerings, it also has an aesthetic allure that is considered sophisticated, comfortable, and captivating. In fact, it's the perfect fit for the hotel at the Lafayette, which will definitely capitalize on its Yemeni coffeehouse trend that is also making its way to Jacksonville, North Carolina, and Virginia Beach, Virginia, among others. Another win for downtown will be Saba's late-night offerings as an alcohol-free alternative for socializing. It is interesting to note that Saba reached out to Termini by expressing their interest and intent to take over the space at the hotel. Altogether, it sounds as if Termini hit the jackpot with this cafe concept and will certainly bring something unique to this fluctuating downtown neighborhood. A neighborhood that deserves an infusion of life that befits this historic hotel that was one of the original rallying flags for the city's Renaissance. Richardson Olmsted Campus. Building number 13 is reimagined by UB students. The century-old building on the Richardson Olmsted campus is reimagined as a residential and cultural facility by graduate students in UB School of Architecture and Planning. At this stage in the game, most of us have at one point or another thought about what the future of the Richardson Olmsted campus beholds. While we are certainly lucky that the sprawling grounds and the historic buildings have been making steady advancements, there is a long way to go before the campus is completed. Recently, students in a university at Buffalo design studio course titled My Neighbor Upstairs completed work to redesign an existing structure on the Olmsted Richardson campus into a facility including residential units and a series of spaces for creative work. These types of exercises are not only important for the students, they are also helpful for the preservation and development community who can benefit from the work. Developed in the 19th century as the Buffalo State Asylum for the Insane, the buildings and grounds of the Richardson Olmsted campus were designed by noted architect Henry Hobson Richardson and the preeminent landscape architect of the day, Frederick Law Olmsted. The crux of the exercise was for students to focus on Building 13, a 4-story reinforced concrete brick facility that served as patient kitchens and a cafeteria until it was vacated in the mid-1970s. For most people, I would imagine that Building 13 is quite the mystery and is not widely discussed as part of the general development plan for the campus. At the same time, a building of this nature is most likely an easier lift to tackle when considering the development potential. Just think of all the possibilities, and that's exactly what the students did. According to UB Associate Professor Miguel Guitart, the studio course brought to the table two critical subjects in architecture, especially for the city of Buffalo: housing, and heritage. The former is a topic not only in our growing city, but across the country and the world. The latter offers an opportunity to discuss how to address, renovate, and reuse old, sometime derelict structures, especially at a time of necessary attention to architectural strategies of material resource, energy consumption, and resource optimization. Richardson Olmsted Campus President Ferris P. Rosselli added, "The UB student work has both exciting and relevant because it underscored the potential for adaptive reuse of space across the campus. The restoration of the nearby Building 12 as part of the new Lipsey Architecture Center Buffalo is a perfect example of what the campus has to offer the community. If you ask me, Building 13 should be part of the Lipsey Architecture Center Buffalo under the redevelopment and operational control of UB. It could be an off-campus satellite building for the School of Architecture and Planning that would directly tie into the Architecture Center as well as the rest of the Richardson Olmsted campus. Part of the School of Architecture and Planning scope is to be practice-driven. Research at the School of Architecture and Planning is situated in real-world challenges, practice environments. By working with professionals and civic stakeholders, faculty and students generate innovative, forward-looking solutions to problems facing industry and communities today. That pretty much sums up what Building 13 could offer up for the students, including a few off-site apartments for those studying in the program who would be offered an immersive learning experience tied to the campus. The Architecture Center, the Arts District, SUNY Buffalo State University, the Olmsted Park System, etc. UB could even work with Buffalo State to feed the students through their hospitality and tourist program or via one of their meal plans. A final review of the student project took place at UB on May 1st. Scale models of the work are now on display within Richardson Hotel on the first floor of the Olmsted Wing. The ROC website is richardson-olmsted.com. Cultivating Resources for Entertainment, Arts, Tourism, and Expression Task Force, CREATE Task Force. Anyone that really knows Buffalo understands that the arts have helped keep the city together during the best and worst of time. Buffalo's cultural scene ties us all together. The arts are ever present in our parks, galleries, on our buildings, and throughout our collective mindset. As a way to further strengthen and solidify the arts, Mayor Sean Ryan has announced the formation of Cultivating Resources for Entertainment, Arts, Tourism, and Expression Task Force, better known as CREATE Task Force. A group of artists, nonprofit leaders, venue operators, educators, and cultural strategists tasked with helping the city's role in supporting and strengthening Buffalo's art and cultural sector. CREATE is designed as a way to establish and solidify a roadmap towards the creation of a more robust and more resilient arts ecosystem. In 2026, we need to ask ourselves what it truly means to be an arts-friendly city, Mayor Sean Ryan said. Buffalo's artists and cultural organizations are part of what make our city unique, attract people here, strengthen neighborhoods, drive tourism, and build community. This task force brings together voices from across the arts sector to help us think strategically about how City Hall can be a strong partner in moving forward. Members of the CREATE Task Force include Co-Chair Yuki Numata-Resnick, Senior Director of Art and Culture for the Community Foundation of Greater Buffalo. Co-Chair Nick Schifano, Program Officer at the Collin Foundation. Michelle Augusto, Director of Arts for the Buffalo Public Schools. Monica Engel, Practicing Artist. Julia Bottoms, Visual Artist. Melissa Brown, Executive Director of the Buffalo History Museum, Jamil Cruz, Cruise Control Media, Tiffany D. Gaines, Curator of the Birchfield Penny Art Center, Patrick Kaler, President and CEO of Visit Buffalo Niagara and member of the City of Buffalo Arts Commission, Anna Kaperchuk, Vice President of Asbury Arts Center, Amelia Schrader, Executive Director of Arts for Learning Western New York, Maria Ta, Executive Director of the Ujima Theater Company, and Alex and Adris Wajed, founders of Eat Off Art. The CREATE task force will focus on 3 primary areas: defining the City of Buffalo's role in fostering arts and culture, including evaluating the current City of Buffalo charter and how the city can most effectively support the arts, advising on how the city communicates and engages with Buffalo arts and cultural community, aligning city priorities with existing regional arts and cultural research planning efforts and stakeholder input, including the County of Erie Cultural Plan and the Center for an Urban Future's Western New York's Creative Spark. I'm deeply grateful to Mayor Sean Ryan and his administration for recognizing the need for a clear, strategic vision for arts and culture in the City of Buffalo, said Yuki Mata Resnick, co-chair of the CREATE task force. It's an honor to serve alongside leaders who are deeply committed to the strength and sustainability of Buffalo's cultural ecosystem. I'm hopeful this task force marks the beginning of a new chapter for Buffalo rooted in collaboration, coordination, and a shared commitment to a thriving arts and cultural sector that serves residents across our city. The task force will convene from May 2026 through August 2026, with meetings occurring every 2 weeks. Members are expected to attend and actively engage in all task force meetings, contribute research, and complete items assigned between meetings, and assist in developing recommendations relating to the future of arts and culture policy, coordination, and engagement in the City of Buffalo. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Pints in the Park is a popular summer pop-up beer garden series in Buffalo, New York, hosted by Resurgent Brewing Company. It transforms various parks across Western New York into outdoor, family-friendly, and dog-friendly hangouts throughout the summer, featuring live music, food trucks, and local beer. About Pints in the Park. The series roams to different parks, including Delaware Park, Chestnut Ridge, and Ellicott Creek Park. It's free to attend. A portion of the proceeds from the events help support local Erie County parks. Along with beer, there is live music, food, and family-friendly activities. For those that are looking to get into the great outdoors while obtaining some creature comforts close at hand, Pints in the Park is the perfect excuse to get off the couch and into our glorious state parks. The 2026 Pints in the Park lineup, sponsored by Resurgent Brewing. On Saturday, May 30th at Elmo Meadows Park in Elmo. The food truck will be Fat Bob's. Friday, June 5th, Chestnut Ridge Park, Orchard Park. The food truck will be Pizza Amore. Friday, June 12th at Ellicott Creek Park, Tonawanda. The food truck will be Lloyd Taco Truck. Saturday, June 20th, Delaware Park, Buffalo. The food truck will be Wing Nuts. Saturday, July 18th, Cazenovia Park, Buffalo. The food truck will be Chevettas. And Saturday, July 25th, Parrington Park in Fairport, Melt Food Truck. Music Matters Summer Concert Series at Sully's at Harbor Walk and Grateful Dead-inspired ice cream. Restaurateur Jason Davidson, Sully's Harbor Bar and Liberty Hound, the Terrace at Delaware Park, and veteran Buffalo music journalist and musician Jeff Myers have announced the lineup for the 2026 season of their Music Matters summer concert season. Last year's live music run was so popular they have decided to do it all over again. And what better venue to host live music along the waterfront than at Sully's? Davidson has always had a knack for activating the waterfront with Liberty Hound and his love for sailing. Combined with Myers Band connections, the two have come up with the perfect formula for reinvigorating Erie Basin Marina. Davidson, who manages the marina's restaurant and hospitality spaces through Harbor Walk Buffalo LLC, has always felt that live music was one of the best ways of activating the waterfront. Along with great food and drinks, he believes that he's got the perfect formula for Sully's at Harbor Walk, which is reopening for the season on Thursday, May 25th at 4 p.m. Yacht Rock Fridays will occur every Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. Once open, Sully's will feature Scarlett's Ice Cream, a Grateful Dead-inspired ice cream shop with flavors like Sunshine Daydream, Franklin's Tower, Fire on the Mountain, and Dark Star. Then there's Sully's Harbor Bar and Grill, featuring steamers, platters, a grill menu, sides, a kids menu, 17 draft beers, room drinks, etc. Davidson is also teasing the release of Sully's Chowder House, which I'm assuming will pay respects to his longtime passion for whipping up soups and chowders. Needless to say, sometimes the simplest formulas are the best recipes for success. So often, Buffalo tends to overthink what's best for Buffalo. Thankfully, Davidson and Myers have come up with a plan to fire up the waterfront in ways that are simple, satisfying, and super tasty. That should be music to all of our ears. Music Matters shows take place on Thursday from 7 p.m. from June to September. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Salty Dog Flea Market at Seven Seas South End Marina. Flea markets are all the rage in Buffalo right now, from the smallest corner markets such as the Peddler on Elmwood Avenue to the Buffalo Artisans and Flea in the Cobblestone District. Fleas are fun, frequent, and far and wide. Now, most of the flea markets that I'm aware of are pretty much anything goes, without any particular themes. That said, I recently heard about the Salty Dog Flea Market, which is set to be held on Sunday, May 17th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Seven Seas South End Marina at 1515 Furman Boulevard in Buffalo. This particular flea market is a nautical theme set to take place at the beginning of boating season. The Salty Dog Flea Market will feature all things marine. Also, nautical elements are a lot of fun to decorate. Sell your stuff or stock the tables for a smoking deal at Salty Dog Flea Market. All things marine welcome. Power or sail, decorative nautical finishings, life jackets, anchors, fishing gear, dock lines, paints, varnishes, deck hardware, electrical or motor parts. We welcome it all, said event organizer Diana Augsburger of the Buffalo Community Boathouse. Bring your own table and set up for only $25, which benefits the Buffalo Community Boathouse, providing free sailing opportunities for underserved children and veterans. For more information, call 716-345-4897. This is at the South Seas South End Marina, Outer Harbor, 1550 Furman Boulevard in Buffalo. Krog Snags Catholic Center Complex. The Krog Group is submitted the highest bid on the Buffalo Diocese Catholic Center Complex located at the northeast corner of Main and Goodell Streets. Krog outbid Brooklyn-based affordable housing developer BFC Partners with a $4.6 million offer, $100,000 more than BFC. BFC was planning affordable housing for the site. Krog has not revealed its plans. The U.S. Bankruptcy Court, which is overseeing the diocese Chapter 11 case, approved the sale today, according to the Buffalo News. In addition to the former Courier Express building, the purchase includes a 2-story office building at 801 Main Street, a parking garage north of it, and 2 surface parking lots along Main Street. The diocese has consolidated its office into 801 Main Street, formerly occupied by Walsh Insurance, which moved to the Larkin District last year. The diocese has agreed to lease the 801 Main Street space for 3 years. Krog is familiar with the neighborhood. Last year it completed the $115 million Trico Building apartments immediately east of the diocese property. Trico includes 242 apartments, 60,000 square feet of commercial space, and enclosed heated parking for 240 cars. "28 years of waiting. How much longer for AM&A's rebirth? Is 28 years long enough? The AM&A's building has been a drag on downtown Buffalo since the short-lived Taylor's department store closed in 1998. The building has symbolized both the promise and the frustration of downtown's resurgence. The 350,000 square foot behemoth occupies a pivotal position in the heart of downtown next to M&T Bank's headquarters, arguably the most important and locally based company. Reuse of the building would play a transformative role in bringing new energy, residents, and activity to a sleepy block of Main Street. Continued vacancy of the AM&A's building remains one of the city's most visible development challenges, and potentially one of its greatest opportunities. It's on the dwindling list of my hopefully someday downtown building reuse projects. Up until recently, that list included rebirth of Seneca One Complex and the southern end of downtown and the Trico building to the north. Kudos to Doug Jamal and the Krog Group for taking on those giant undertakings, which are both unqualified successes. When there's a will, a market, and money, big things are possible. One other downtown buildings that remain on my list include the DL&W, Statler, and Main Place Mall. And although hard to like, something needs to happen with the Buffalo Grand Hotel. To the frustration of many, development plans have come and gone for the prime and strategically important AM&A's complex. Richard Taylor bought the former department store and warehouses behind it in 1996 and operated the Taylor department store there until 1999. In 2001, Uniland Development considered constructing a new building on the site to house Blue Shield when the insurer was looking to relocate back downtown. The firm chose to build a new build at Gasworks, the site at the foot of Church Street. You can't stop the beat. Musical Fair's Hairspray delivers at Shays 710. Musical Fair presents Hairspray at 710 Shays Theater, located at 710 Main Street in Buffalo, corner of Main and Tupper. The show stars Stevie Lou Kemp as Tracy Turnblad, Louis Kaliakovo as Edna Turnblad, Bobby Cook as Wilbur Turnblad, Glenn Chitty, Link Larkin, Desai Sirvi, Motormarth Maybell, Austin Marshall as Seaweed, Aaron Lee Dandies as Prudy, Penelope Sergi as Penny Pingleton, Audrey Woods as Amber Von Tussle, Jen Stafford as Velma Von Tussle, Elia Ryan as Little Inez, and Marco Sacco, Corny Collins in the lead roles with a full ensemble. The show runs from May 7th through May 21st with performances on Thursdays and Fridays at 7:30 p.m., Saturdays at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m., and Sundays at 2 p.m. For more information and tickets, visit musicalfair.com or shays.org/710-theater. Hairspray is set in the 1962 Baltimore and follows Tracy Turnblad, a bubbly, plus-size teen who wins a spot on the segregated Corny Collins show. She quickly becomes a teenage celebrity, falls for the show's heartthrob, Link Larkin, and uses her newfound fame to fight for racial integration on the show, overcoming the racist station manager Velma Von Tussle. It begins with Tracy and her best friend Penny Pingleton dreaming that they could one day dance on the Corny Collins show. Despite rejection from Velma due to her weight, Tracy manages to get on the show with the help of some new friends, including Seaweed J. Stubbs, whom she met in detention because her hairdo was too high. After Tracy sees the inherent racism in the show's structure, allowing black teens to dance only once a month on Negro Day, Tracy initiates a protest to integrate the show. She is supported by Motor Mouth Maybell, Link Larkin, and her parents, Edna and Wilbur. Tracy overcomes every obstacle that comes her way, integrates the television show, wins the title of Miss Teenage Hairspray, and unites the community as celebrated in the jubilant final song, You Can't Stop the Beat. The runtime is approximately 2 hours and 35 minutes with one 15-minute intermission. 2026 Saturday morning rides with the Eastside Bike Club. On Saturday, May 16th at 10 a.m., the Eastside Bike Club will embark upon another season of community bike rides. The first ride of the season will be the 5th Solidarity Ride, a ride that pays tribute to the lives lost during the 2022 mass shooting at the Tops Market on Jefferson Avenue. Cyclists will gather together at MLK Park at 9:30 a.m., with the ride taking place promptly at 10 a.m. Eastside Bike Club begins a new season of rides. Every Saturday, riders meet at the Martin Luther King statue in MLK Park for a no-cost 10 to 12-mile bike ride through different parts of the area. Riders of all abilities are welcome and encouraged to join. The club rides at a relaxed place suitable for all participants, so riders may enjoy their fellow riding company and see more of the city, said Eastside Bike Club. Recently, the Eastside Bike Club opened its community workshop and e-bike library at 1057 Kensington Avenue. The e-bike library offers free, weekly-long rentals of e-bikes to neighborhood communities. The rides continue every Saturday through mid-October and are open to everyone and all abilities. A few of the rides that the club has organized in the past include Border Crossing, the annual Can-Am ride, Mobility Matters, Harvest Bike Rodeo, which is new, the EMT Coffee Cup ride, and Remembrance rides. Key details are the meet time is at 9:30 a.m. with departure time at 10 a.m. sharp. The location is MLK Park in front of the MLK bus, Buffalo, New York. The ride of the length is approximately 10 to 12 miles. The Eastside Bike Club is a program of Buffalo United Front, a coalition of frontline organizations and individuals working to reduce violence. For more information about the Eastside Bike Club and its upcoming events, please visit www.esbcbuffalo.org or follow them on Facebook. You have been listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising. We read from Buffalo Rising on Fridays at 8:30 a.m. Your reader has been Dave. Thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading. Good morning. Welcome to another broadcast day on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, a private not-for-profit organization. As always, please feel free to contact us with your comments, suggestions, any questions you may have. Our phone number here is area code 716-821-5555. As always, please stay with us. Our Renewal Phone News is coming up next, and feel free to contact us with those comments, suggestions, or questions.
The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have